Morning on Main Street, the Morning Show Madness, live on Main Street Media TV. Outside of Nashville, Tennessee, Brian Davis, your guest host here on the show. We'll be joined in a few more moments by Chris, the show killer. He's going to keep us all straight in line. We got a jam-packed hour for you today on the show. We got Masha Slemovich from Impact Wrestling going to be joining us, talking about Bound for Glory and their Impact TV tapings coming up this weekend at Skyway Studios. And then Terry McCormick. He knows more football than you and I put together. He's going to be joining us too as well. But first, Chris, the show killer.
Yes, sir. Brian, what is up, man? My name's Justin. It's all good.
Hey,
my dad's name's Chris, though. So,
okay.
Yep. We both got the same last name, so it's all good, man. How
perfect.
you doing?
I'm doing good. To differentiate between you and your dad, we'll call you Chris, the show killer. How about that?
There we go. That works. That's different.
All right.
That's different.
So, show killer.
Yes, sir.
First off, before we get started with the show, how about some traffic, some weather to get people going this morning?
That's a great idea. Let's do that. So today's weather is brought to you by Roy's Meat Service. Roy Meat Service, your local Nashville meat shop. Come on in for an RC Cola, bologna sandwich, ribs, any kind of meat you want. I know that's not all the meat in the world right there, but they have it. I promise you. They have something called Ez Fernando's quesadillas even. They're fantastic. Everybody's so nice and attentive on the staff. And if you have friends and you want to cook out with them, they have meat to go. So go on down to Roy's Meat Service. Me and Brian are going to go kill a steak there later. But yes, please go down to Roy's Meat Service. As far as the weather, look how beautiful it looks downtown.
It looks great.
Wow.
Looks great.
So the high today is unfortunately 98, which I've noticed it has been getting hotter lately, which is no bueno. Lows 73. 0% chance of rain. Humidity's not too bad. I mean, we're at 57% humidity. I don't know what that is compared to other places because I never leave this place, but that's your weather for today. Just try to stay cool,
Last day of summer, definitely indeed. Hey, I tell you what, we need to get them to come down here and do a live cooking demonstration for us.
You know what? It's crazy. We haven't done that.
We need to have them come down and do that. We love some food. Come on down here. Fried bologna, grilled bologna, fried bologna, whatever it is.
Yes.
With some pork and steak.
Man. And they got RC Colas too. They even throw that in there.
Old school RC.
Man.
Sounds good stuff.
And I'll hit the traffic on the next break. Isn't that cool?
Sure. That'd be great. Sweet. And I tell you what, we will take a break because we got somebody. She's a badass. She's the number one contender to the Knockouts Championship. Masha Slemovich will be joining us next. We'll learn all about her. We'll talk about her career. She's getting ready to take on Jordan Grace at Bound for Glory on October 7th in Albany, New York. So we'll bring her on too as well, learn about her, talk about her, have some fun with her too as well. And then, like I said, he knows more football than you and I and the whole world put together. Terry McCormick will join the madness here on Main Street Media TV in a few more moments. You're listening to and you're watching Mornings on Main Street, the Morning Show Madness, right here on Main Street Media TV. Stay tuned.
The high school football season is here, and nobody handles Friday nights better than Main Street Media. Here's Zach Womble with details.
That's the name of the game here at Main Street Media and Main Street Preps is, we've been doing this for a long time now, and I think you hit on it. We've got an army of reporters across all of Middle Tennessee. I think there's about 130 schools in the Middle Tennessee area, and we try to cover all of them. We cover about 11, 12 counties at this point. And those Friday night shows, it's we're gonna show that off. We're gonna showcase the talent that we have on the field with reporters across several mid-state games on the weekly basis. So, whether you're in Williamson County, whether you're in Giles County or Murray County or Montgomery or Robertson or anywhere in between, we're going to have you covered from 6 to 11.
Friday Night Live is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk.
This is Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, and personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. If you've lost a spouse or a parent and want to make sure your inheritance is utilized and does not just disappear, I can help with that. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email eric@rockcastlewealth.com.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Buddy Allen, it's a tradition. Come on into our store. Buddy Allen, it's a heritage for 40 years and more. What makes a house kind of special? Close friends walking in the door. Flowers blooming in the springtime and little children playing on a Buddy Allen floor.
I don't know if to start singing or not. Maybe I should. Welcome back to the morning show, Madness on Main Street Media TV. Welcome back, my friends, to the hottest show on planet Earth. All right, I'll stop. Morning on Main Street. Morning show, Madness right here on Main Street Media TV. I'm Brian Davis, your guest host this morning. Chris, the show killer, back behind the scenes, getting things all done. And I believe we are set and ready to go with our first guest, right, show killer? Yes, sir. My first guest of the show, she is a legitimate badass, the number one contender to the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship. She'll take on Jordan Grace October 7th at Bound for Glory in Albany, New York. Please welcome to the ride here on the show, the number one contender, Masha Slamovich, joining the madness this morning. Good morning, Masha.
Good morning to you guys. Hopefully the morning's been well.
It's going very well. How about yourself?
It has been pretty good. Can't complain.
Can't complain? All right. I want to try this, and you rate me on this, okay? Are you ready, Masha?
All right.
All right. Teochin Kravasaya.
Oh, I got that. Spasiba.
Oh, that was good, right?
I understood what you said.
All right, good. For those who know, that means you are beautiful in Russian. So there we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Masha, for fans who don't know anything about you, tell us about yourself.
Well, I mean, let's start with important things first. As you
Okay.
said, I'm the number one contender for the Impact's Women's World Championship, which I will be challenging Jordan Grace at Bound for Glory, October 7th in Albany, New York. And aside from that, I mean, 15-0 at Impact and a multitude of other accolades, perhaps most recently unrelated to Impact, a tournament winner in Mexico.
So you wrestled in an 8-sided ring.
I'm sorry?
You wrestled in an 8-sided ring, and was it AAA Mexico?
No, it was not.
Oh, okay.
It was in a four-sided ring, a normal one.
Would you like to try wrestling in the 8-sided ring?
I certainly would. I am not one to turn down anything new, challenging, or interesting. So any new opportunity, especially with a ring that I haven't been in, I'll be open to.
Outstanding. So the love of the business, what got your juices flowing for that? Was it a match? Was it an individual, an event? What was it?
I remember being very young, and people would always ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And everybody would always answer, firefighter, police officer, something like that. And I just thought those things were so mundane and boring. And when I saw professional wrestling, I mean, I saw like a match and immediately I said, this is what I'm going to do when I grow up. I'm in love with this. And ever since being about 4 or 5 years old, I've never changed my mind and I've pursued the goal endlessly.
Do you remember what the match was that got you hooked?
I don't remember a specific match. I do know that it was SmackDown, I believe.
Okay.
That's all I have. But I do know that the first wrestler, people like Chris Benoit with the aggressive style, the impactful wrestling, that was what really drew me in. It was the intensity.
I'm glad you brought that up because your style in the ring and your intensity, it kind of reminds us of a Chris Benoit.
I'm always happy to hear things like that. Most recently, in an article speaking about Russians in professional wrestling, somebody had written that they thought that I was influenced by Dynamite Kid, which is indeed correct, but it brings me great joy that people who watch my style would think of us in a similar light.
Hey, not Dynamite Kid, British Bulldogs, tag team wrestling. That's what got me hooked in. I love tag team wrestling.
I love tag team wrestling. I definitely enjoy singles competition more. I have recently started competing more in tags on the independent scene alongside Akira as being one part of America's Violence Dealers. So I'm definitely dipping my foot into the tag scene more this year.
What a name. Wait a minute. America's Violence Dealers?
Yes.
AVD. I like that. How did you come up with that?
It's a play off of which album was it? It was an album by Corrosion of Conformity. I think it was America's what was it? It was, I forget the name of the album, but it was something very similar. America's Volume Dealers. That's what it was.
Okay.
And I thought, man, but violence just sounds so much better.
Wow. I didn't know anything much about you until I believe it was what was last year, NWA Empower in St. Louis, and you was in the gauntlet match. And that pay-per-view was all about the women. It was the whole women's show. Mickey, Gail, Medusa, Jazz produced the show. Talk about being part of that historic show in St. Louis.
It was one of, let's say the most important nights of my life because it was a big opportunity. It was finally, getting a chance to show what I can do on a big stage. And also personally for me, I had always wanted to get a chance to work with the NWA and getting to wrestle in the historic venue, the Chase, that night. It was just so incredible. And all of the women who performed were so talented. I think the pay-per-view went off swimmingly. And I personally very much enjoyed wrestling with the 9 other women who were in the match.
Of course, training for this, of course, I believe Amazing Red, another TNA Impact legend, Johnny Rods, who trained Taz and many others as well too. Talk about your training for becoming a professional wrestler.
I started training with Johnny Rods at the young age of 16. And even at that time, I already felt, I thought to myself, man, I know there's people out there who are starting at 14 or 12 in places like Japan and Mexico. And I was like, I gotta hurry up before I get old. So I immediately, the second I signed up, I was there every single day. I was there anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week for a year and a half straight. I just would leave high school and go straight to the gym and stay there from 4 or 5 p.m. all the way until it closed at 10:30 and repeat the next day every single Saturday, come in at 9, stay till 6. I was determined to do everything in my power and learn as much as I could from every single person who entered the ring. And I knew that there was no such thing as bad information, and I wanted to learn everything and perfect everything, and I wanted to be the best.
The Noah contender to the Knockouts Championship, Masha Semovich, our guest here on The Madness on Main Street Media TV. What was the best part and the worst part about training?
I never even found a worst part. Even everything that was so grueling to go through and running in the cold over the bridges in Brooklyn, I enjoyed all of it. There was no part of me that didn't enjoy the suffering, because I wanted to be in the business. I wanted to be a wrestler so bad. I was honored to even have the opportunity to attempt to become a wrestler and to follow my dreams. So I was thankful for any coaching and punishment. Everything I just accepted with open arms.
You speak so well here in this interview, Masha. You don't get much promo time on Impact. Is that by your choice?
Partially, it might be. When I have something to say, I'll say it. But I believe actions speak louder than words in and out of the ring.
And those actions that spoke loud and clear with great wins over Deonna Purrazzo, Havoc, which we'll talk about that here later on. We play 5 questions. Man, the matches you've had, I mean, the way you just steamrolled through opponents has been pretty impressive.
I owe it all to, like we were just talking about earlier, all of the training. I mean, learning from people like Johnny Rods, you mentioned, Amazing Red, and most recently, the last trainer being Chigusa Nagayo. It not only raised the level of my skill set, it also opened my mind to a host of ways that I can commit acts of violence on my opponents. So I think I'm very well versed in the language of violence, and I think I display that well.
Do you have like a martial arts background? Because some of the leg kicks, the round kicks you do is very impressive. Do you have a martial arts background too as well?
A little bit. When I was younger, I definitely did karate and a little bit of judo. And now I most recently train in Brazilian jiu-jitsu and, of course, catch wrestling.
Awesome. All right. We will take a break here in just a moment, and we'll come back. We'll talk about you and Jordan at Bound for Glory coming up as well, too. Plus, you're going to play the 5 questions, too, as well. But first, Masha, social media is huge in wrestling right now. Talk about your social media. Are you on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, anything like that? Do people follow you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram, and I'd also have a Facebook page. You can find me all of my social media, including also Patreon, Cameo, and things of the sort, all at Masha Slamovich.
And of course, folks, it's spelled M-A-S-H-A, no R, M-A-S-H-A, Masha Slamovich on Facebook, IG, Twitter, and the whole 9 yards. So, Masha, stick around. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Bound for Glory, your match with Jordan Grace. We'll talk about that. Plus, you can play the 5 questions.
Let's see what these 5 questions are.
Yeah, they relate to you in one way or another. Keep that in mind. So, your goals get 5 out of 5 and not 1 out of 5 like Kathy Ireland. So, I know you're pretty competitive, so this should be pretty good.
Let's find out.
All right. So we'll take a break. We come back. More with Masha right here on The Madness, right here on Main Street Media TV. Stay tuned.
I highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation because of their caring nature and attentiveness to detail.
Pre-planning your funeral now will bring you peace of mind and less stress to your loved ones. When the chaos of losing you happens, your family can honor and celebrate your life, knowing things are happening just as you wanted them to. Pre-planning determines the details of your funeral, cemetery services, and can be less expensive. We are honored to serve you and are always here for you in your time of need.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
This is Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. One area I can help with is if you are newly or nearly retired, or maybe have changed jobs and have an old 401k account. You may need more information to help you clearly understand your options. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email eric@rockcastlewealth.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
At Wellskin Dermatology.
Traffic in downtown Nashville. This is the Madness. What is on Main Street? On Main Street Media TV. Brian Davis, guest host here. Chris the Show Killer, our guest. Impact Wrestling's number one contender to the Knockouts Championship, Masha Slamovich, is here as well too. Masha, October 7th, Bound for Glory. You're taking on Jordan Grace. We got some jamming. We're jamming this morning. There we go. Yeah. Anyways, October 7th, you're taking on Jordan Grace at Bound for Glory for the Knockouts Championship. You two are strong wrestlers. Just talk about preparing for that match.
I prepare for that match in any way I'd prepare for any other match. When I go out to the ring, I put in 100% regardless of who's standing against me. But I do know that Jordan is one tough opponent, so I'm ready for anything at Bound for Glory.
I believe, did you not face her like 2 or 3 years ago, I believe? Is that correct?
That is true, actually.
Mm-hmm.
My technically second match on Impact was for, what was the name? Before BTI was some other backstage show, but it was aired. Myself and Jordan did have a match.
Anything you can take from that match and apply it to the match you're coming up and having a couple of weeks?
I'll say very similar and very intense style. So that brings me joy because it'll only make me turn it up one notch or several.
But before we get to that, though, we have Impact Wrestling TV show tapings coming up at Skyway Studios this Saturday in downtown Nashville, which will lead into Bound for Glory on the 7th. Do you have a match planned by any chance on Saturday during the tapings or anything like that? Or maybe an appearance, hopefully?
I'll tell you what. I think everybody should show up to Skyway Studios and find out what's going to happen. It is going to be a very big event. Victory Road is just one step closer to Bound for Glory, so I'll certainly be there. Just find out for what reason.
And speaking of that, Victory Road is Friday night. The main event for that is a barbed wire massacre match. And I mean, my goodness, you got Steve Macklin, Sami Callihan, and Moose. Masha, if you was in a match like that, what two other opponents would you like to have in a barbed wire massacre match?
Well, that just sounds like a whole lot of fun, doesn't it? I would be ready to do a match like that with just about anybody. The real question is, who do want to do that match with me?
You know, well, what two would you like to see in there with you? What two?
I think Jordan Grace should definitely put her money where her mouth is and be in such a match with myself. And you know what? Deonna Purrazzo has always been a great competitor of mine and always a nice challenge. So I think that she should step into my world and challenge herself there.
So wow, blood does not scare you at all, does it?
Fear is weakness, and blood only intensifies my feelings for violence and gets me excited in the ring.
Oh wow, I'm pumped. Show killer, are you pumped?
Yeah.
Show killer,
A little intimidated, but yeah, I'm pumped.
I'm pumped, man. Masha, wow, fear, man. That's a great quote. You need to copy this quote. Can we use this quote, Masha? Can we use that?
Quote me on it.
All right.
We'll cite the source.
Yes, definitely so. All right. So that is October 7th, Bound for Glory. I'm hoping you and Jordan steal the show. I hope you two steal the show on October 7th.
I haven't got a doubt in my mind.
Now, I gotta get you to make a promise. Okay.
What's that?
You win the championship. We want you to come back and bring that belt and yourself here with us live, and hopefully have a studio audience here with us too as well. And that way you can flaunt it, show off the belt. That way the whole entire world can see you with the championship belt.
Well, you'd better start preparing the studio now because you're already speaking to the next champion.
All right. I love it. All right. So you're very competitive, right?
That's true.
All right. We're going to play the 5 questions. The 5 questions, these are questions that relate to you in one way or another. Keep that in mind, okay?
All right.
Your goal is to get 5 out of 5 and not 1 out of 5 like Kathy Ireland. And these questions can range on anything.
All right. I certainly hope I know myself.
Well, or things similar about yourself. It's close to it, pretty much. All right. So, Masha, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
It's time to play the 5 questions with Masha Slimovich. Here we go. All right, Masha, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. We will start with geography. Oh, the look right there says it all. Not a geography person, huh?
I used to be very good at it. Let's see how good my skills are.
All right. Capital or not a capital? To my United States capital. Nashville.
What about Nashville? In the state that it's in?
Is the capital of Tennessee. Is Nashville capital of Tennessee?
Yes.
That is correct.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. All right. You got 1. All right. Are you familiar, Masha? Question number 2. Are you familiar with the game show The Price is Right? Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
There's a game called the range game where the little meter goes up the board and it's got like a $150 range pretty much. So your range is going to be 5. 5 above or 5 below the correct answers, or pretty much is a range of 10 pretty much. So your match with Havoc that you had, in how many seconds did you beat Havoc on Impact? In seconds.
120.
So go 120 seconds. That means your range is 115 to 125. So is that going to be your final answer?
Yes.
Incorrect. You beat her in 89 seconds. 1:29.
I should have went with 90, which was going to be my original answer, which was closer.
That's okay. Yes,
I'm not a math person. I'll tell you that right now. It's not my strong suit.
That's okay. Question number 3. All right. What cocktail is made with vodka, ginger bean, lime juice, garnished with a slice of wedge or lime called?
Can you repeat the ingredients?
Okay. Once again, what cocktail is made with vodka, ginger beer, and lime juice that's garnished with a slice of wedge or lime called?
Is that not a Russian mule?
Close. It's the
Moscow mule. There we go.
There we go. That's correct. That is correct. You was close. The Moscow mule. That is correct. All right. You got 2 out of 3, right? 2 out of 3. All right. Question number 4. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is the device that's intended on mounting on a vehicle used for plowing snow? From the Outdoor Streets Called.
That's so loud.
I just gave you that one. Okay, show killer. We need 30 seconds on the clock.
All right, got it.
Speed round, Masha. You have 30 seconds.
Wait, hold on. Let me get pulled up.
Okay.
I just said I got it, and I definitely did not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, Masha, you got 30 seconds.
All right. Whenever you're ready, I will start it.
All right. Besides yourself, name 5 pro wrestlers that are or claim to be from Russia. You ready?
Right.
Go.
Layla Hirsch.
Okay.
Ivan Markov.
All right.
Natalia Markova.
All right.
Aelita.
Okay. Need one
Is
more.
that 5?
That's one more. You need one more.
Okay, who else? Claim to be
Or are
Nikolai
from.
Volkov.
Because she got it. That's correct. Wow. Wow. She got 4 out of 5. Wow. 4 out of 5 the very first time. Congratulations. You had the 5 if you just went with 90 seconds. You had it.
I should have won with the 90 seconds. You know, I heard numbers and I was like, oh man, I'm losing this round.
But you had it. Though. But you was right there though. 4 out of 5 is very good. That is very, very good. Okay. So once again, Bound for Glory is this or not this, I'm sorry, it's October 7th, but this Saturday is Impact Wrestling Skyway Studio tapings in Nashville. Obviously, you need to come and see yourself. But who else you like watching from Impact perform in the ring there, Masha?
Well, I've always grew up quite the fan of Sami Callihan, especially watching CZW. And I'll only say his work ages like fine wine.
Also, by the way, the PWI 150 women's top 150 be coming out here very, very soon. That's Pro Wrestling Illustrated for those who know what PWI stands for. Where do you see yourself in that poll, Masha?
Well, I was at number 29 last year, and I'd say within the top 15 at least this year. Let's hope I'm correct.
And I believe that's taken from, I think, from August to July, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? I believe that is correct. I believe it is. So from August to July. So 29, you win the title, hang on to it for an entire year, you could be top 10.
I think so.
Awesome. All right. So one more time, Masha, promote yourself on social media. How can people find you on Facebook, IG, and other social media platforms?
You can find me on any and all social media platforms at Masha Slamovich, MASHA Slamovich. It's like, you know, the other word, but with a V.
Nice. Very nice. All right. So before you go, in Russian, please tell us how do you say kick ass in Russian? Is that a word you can say in Russian?
There's I wouldn't say kick ass. There's kind of a, I'll beat your ass.
Okay, that works.
Я тебе жопу надеру.
You catch that, show killer?
I feel like I already got my butt beat by here. That was aggressive.
Okay, can you say that one more time, a little slower though, so we can get this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Тебе
Я тебе
жопу надеру.
Adieu.
Of course.
All right, I love it. So Masha, good luck on October 7th. And like I said, we hope you can bring you back here with the championship belt in front of the studio audience and show it off and revel in your glory for winning championship.
I believe that will certainly be happening if it's up to me.
All right. Thank you so much. Best luck October 7th. Don't forget, you can see her this weekend at Skyway Studios for Impact Wrestling tapings in Nashville. Masha, thanks for being our guest this morning here on The Madness. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Masha Slamovich. She is one tough woman there, Show Killer. You want to get in the ring with her, Show Killer?
I'm good, man. Honestly, I don't think I would get in the ring regardless, but especially not with confidence like that. Okay, you know, even like you can sense that confidence from a mile away. So it's like, yeah, I'd be like, I'm good. Is it her that I have to fight? Nah. No, thanks. Anybody else?
Or maybe be her manager instead.
There you go. Exactly. Yes. See, I'll be on the other side of it. You can't beat them.
Yeah. And you be the manager. You control the traffic outside the ring. Speaking of control the traffic.
Yes.
Hey, you got this, right?
Look at that segue, man. That was fantastic. Yes, traffic. So let's take a look at it. Traffic today is brought to you by 50 Forward, a Nashville area nonprofit serving older adults. They're a proud partner with the All of Us research program from the National Institutes of Health. Learn how you can help change the future of health by visiting their website at joinallofus.org/50forward. It's down there scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. As for traffic, let's take a look at old Silliman Evans Bridge. Overlooking the bypass there. Is bypass? We'll talk about it later.
No, bypass is still coming.
That's a good term, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. So I'll drop that for you there. But yeah, it looks like traffic's moving exactly how you would think it would move at a situation like this. Those middle lanes are always kind of blocked, but it is moving. Doesn't look like there's any wrecks. Just kind of a little bit of a slow up there. But as you make your way through Nashville, try to stay in left lanes.
There you go.
But that's your
smart advice. Smart advice. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, this man will make your football IQ jump up 100 points every time he comes on. I promise you that. The legend, the great Terry McCormick. We're talking NFL football and more with him next. This is the Morning Show Madness. Mornings on Main Street Media TV. Stay tuned.
Buddy Allen, it's a tradition. Come on into our store. Buddy Allen, it's a heritage for 40 years and more. What makes a house kind of special? Close friends walking in the door. Flowers blooming in the springtime and little children playing on a Buddy Allen floor.
Hey everyone, I'm John English. This is Keith Wallace, and we would like to welcome you to John English Antique Sports and Cards in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
We specialize in graded and ungraded sports and non-sports card, vintage wax boxes, and unopened cases. We have a large selection of PSA graded cards. We also specialize in old sports collectibles, baseball, football, basketball, golf, and tennis. You can find it all at John English Antique Sports and Cards.
We are happy to be associated with Nashville's greatest sports antique, George Plaster.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then. We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
Madness. Welcome back to the ride. We're here on Main Street Media TV. Here on Main Street Media TV. There we go. All right. Our next guest, every time he comes on, your football IQ will jump up 100 points. I promise you that. You know more football than all. A little background noise there. He's celebrating in the background, is it not? He's celebrating in the background. That's where that noise is coming from. That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is.
Brian, how are you?
Terry, how's it going with you, sir?
Well, it's interesting that you just had a wrestler because there's a fly that's in my office here, and we were about to have a loser-leave town match.
Yes, there you go, Terry. There you go, a loser-leave town match. Hey, before we get started, Terry, I got 2 words for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
All rise, Terry. All rise.
Oh, I'm glad you went there, Brian, because the crazy thing about it was, on, I think it was Sunday, my son, he came to me and he said, Dad, we should fly up to New York and see the Yankees and the Pirates. I can get tickets online for like $12. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to uproot my schedule. I should have been there last night. Should have been there. It was unbelievable. Watched it on TV. Judge hits number 60, and then Stanton with the walk-off granny. So naturally, Connor reminds me, he goes, "You should have bought tickets."
Well, opportunity, well, maybe not. I mean, the tickets may go sky high now because now 61 is on the horizon. Tickets are probably pretty high for that now.
Unbelievable. I'm telling you, what this guy is doing is crazy. The Yankees can't let him get away, can they? He's a free agent at the end of the year.
Before we get to football, let me ask you this, Terry. What if he went to the team across the way and played for the Mets?
It could be worse. He could go to the Red Sox.
It's his contract year. There are going to be some offers. There's going to be some offers.
Absolutely. I'll just say this. It would be a shame. George Steinbrenner would have never allowed that to happen.
It's true. That is true. You're right.
Probably 10% ownership in the franchise, but he would have never allowed that to happen.
You're right. You're definitely right. All right. Like I said, our football IQs will go up 100 points every time you come on the show. So you're going to drop some more knowledge on us. And I guess it starts with Taylor Lewan going to be out for the season. And I guess, does that mean his career in Tennessee is probably done too, Terry?
Well, the talk is about Taylor Lewan, that, it could be a season-ending injury. The Titans haven't, come right out and said it just yet, or at least that I'm aware of. But if it is, it very well could be the last time we see Taylor Lewan in a Titans uniform, because he's got a really high cap number for the final year of this extension that's coming in 2023. And to my way of thinking, if it is the end, it's been a really good run for that guy here in Nashville.
So now, who steps in at his position, Terry?
Good question. Really good question. Because I think the logical thing to do would be, if Taylor Lewan is out for the year, would be, I think, to move the right tackle, the rookie, Nicholas Ferrer, over to the left side to see if he can handle that, and then go try it once again and fix the right tackle position, which is something that's been a problem ever since they allowed Jack Conklin to leave in free agency. So to me, that would be the way that you would probably go about it, because if Nicholas Ferrer can handle it on the left side, you go ahead and let him start learning that position, and then try once again to fix the right side, because it should be easier to find a right tackle than it is to find a left tackle. Although the Titans, in the time that they have been here, when they got here, Brad Hopkins manned the position, and he did it for quite a long time. He handed it off to Michael Roos. Michael Roos handed it off to Taylor Lewan. Basically, 3 left tackles since the franchise has been here. Left tackle and punter have been the most stable things that they've had since this franchise has been here. And we've seen the punter situation be turned over to Ryan Stonehouse this year after Craig Hendricks and Brett Kern handled it for 2 decades. Now we may be seeing our 4th left tackle if Taylor Lewan truly is at the end of the line.
Is there anybody out there in free agency that just sit around, possibly they could possibly pick up, maybe?
Well, yeah, you can always find somebody, and they were able to find some pieces last year off the scrap heap, but that's a roll of the dice. And anybody out there that's not currently on a roster, chances are there's a reason they're not on a roster. So, it's very slim pickings out there, so to speak, when you go to try and pick up pieces during the middle of the season, because you would think that your roster at the start of the season theoretically should be the best that it's going to be. And the last 2 years, we've seen what's happened to the Titans in terms of injuries. Last year, they went through 91 players and miraculously were able to overcome that. This year, they got exposed against Buffalo Monday night. And, if there's some help out there, they need to start finding it. They already have added safety Andrew Adams this morning off the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad. So John Robinson already has the wheels turning to try and find some places. But, Brian, it's tough out there, and this Titans team certainly does not look like the same team that we've come to look at the last 2 or 3 years.
My thoughts, Terry, are Buffalo's going to blow out a lot of teams this year. That's how good this team really is. So they're saying it's a bad. Some people are saying it's a bad loss, but in my opinion, I don't think it's a bad loss because Buffalo's just that good. They're going to do it to a lot of teams this year.
You're right about that, but on the flip side of that, Brian, look at the Titans' schedule. They've still got to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Still got to play the Chargers. This week, the Raiders, who are 0-2 and certainly are better than that record, are coming to town. It's put up or shut up time for this Titans team. I mean, they're in a situation right now where if they don't win one of these next 2 games, that's at home this week against the Raiders, who are 0-2 like them, or at the Colts next week when they're 0-1-1 in the AFC South. For the Titans, thankfully, is a train wreck right now. If they don't win one of these next 2 games, they're putting themselves in a big-time hole in the first month of the season, and it may not be one they can climb out of.
You mentioned the Colts. They just can't win in Jacksonville, can they? What's going on down there?
Well, it's one of those deals where sometimes the team just has your number. For years, the Colts had the Titans number. They just could not beat them. I think a lot of that probably had to do with the fact that the Colts employed Peyton Manning and then Andrew Luck. That seems to help a lot. But for some reason, sometimes the team just gets your number, and it's just hard to get over that hump. And right now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they've not been able to beat anybody else around the league, but they have owned the Indianapolis Colts, and the Fly is back to the league down there.
We need a show killer. We need a Marsha Slamovich over at Terry's house to kill the Fly, right?
Right. Yeah. Is there a carpet cleaner going on right now?
I don't know what it is, but there's a fly that is bugging the heck out of me here this morning in the office.
The schedule is difficult, Terry, but again, I mean, wow. The Jaguars with 1 win, the Titans 0-2, 0-1-1 are Colts and Texans. I mean, the division is still really up for grabs. It's really early, though.
Yeah, it really is. And one thing, too, and I don't know if this was an unintended consequence or not, but since the NFL went to the 17-game schedule last year, it seems like that team, may actually be able to handle an 0-2 start or an 0-3 start even a little bit better, because if you can gain traction, and you look at it, and I hate to keep going back to the Colts and the Jaguars, but the Colts started 0-3 last year, and had they been able to handle business in Jacksonville on the season's final week, they would have made the playoffs even after an 0-3 start. So maybe it's not as big a deal as it used to be just because there's an extra game now, but certainly with the Tennessee Titans, they've got to start to fix some of the holes that are there over the next week and on a short week this week with the Raiders, because they're in a situation with a tough schedule where they've got to keep going soon. They're fortunate that the division they're in doesn't look very good, and that might be the biggest thing they've got going for them right now.
Definitely so. So we just played 5 questions with Masha, Terry. Terry, I want you to rank your top 5 in the NFL right now, top 5 teams right now.
Wow, top 5 teams. Okay. I'll go with the Buffalo Bills at number 1 right now in the power ranking.
Okay.
And I'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs at number 2. And I never strayed too far away when Tom Brady's involved. I'll go with the Tampa Bay Bucks at number 3. Number 4, let's see. I'll go back into the AFC. I never thought I would say this, but right now the Miami Dolphins are pretty good. They're number 4. And then number 5, number 5, let me think. The Rams got humiliated by Buffalo. The Cowboys are without Dak Prescott. Maybe number 5 right now is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Might be number 5 right now in my power ranking.
Because they got AJ, and of course that's a big difference in offense, but their defense, wow. The whole Justin Jefferson, the way they did on Monday Night Football, wow, that was very impressive.
Yeah, they handled him pretty well, pretty easily Monday night. They frustrated Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins, and certainly a situation where the Eagles have looked good the first 2 weeks. I may wind up eating my words, but I said at the start of the year that I didn't think Tyreek Hill's numbers would be as good getting away from Patrick Mahomes, and I didn't think A.J. Brown's numbers would be as good going from Ryan Tannehill to Jalen Hurts. But right now, through 2 games, both the Eagles and the Dolphins certainly look good with those new additions at the wide receiver position. And the Titans are going to get to experience the third guy that I said, these numbers would probably struggle, and that's Devontae Adams going from Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr. So we go back, right there. It all comes back to the Titans, it seems like, and it's certainly going to be interesting to see with a beat-up secondary, those young guys that they had out there struggling Monday night, guys like Roger McCreary, Caleb Farley, and Trey Avery. See if the Titans can corral Devontae Adams after the way that Stephon Diggs kind of ran wild Monday night.
Terry, he only had, I believe, like 4 targets against the Cardinals, I believe, and with only 2 catches. So is there something the Titans can take away what the Cardinals did to probably limit what Devontae can do on Sunday?
Well, they certainly should be looking that way. I would be looking at that Cardinal game plan, kind of see what they did, because the game plan that they had in Buffalo to try and corral Stephon Diggs certainly didn't work very well. He had 12 catches for 148 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Devontae Adams, as you know, he's certainly that explosive type of number 1 receiver that a lot of these teams, kind of hang their hat on now. I think when you look at the way that this season has started in the early going, the Titans not been able to do much of anything that they pride themselves on, which is to run the football, control the clock, because the offensive line hasn't played very well, get Derrick Henry going, and Derrick had no room to run Monday night. And then on the other side of the ball, they got to get pressure on the quarterback, which they weren't able to do on Josh Allen. And Josh Allen picked that young secondary apart with Stephon Diggs Monday night. So when you're going against the Raiders, they're going to have to get some pressure on Derek Carr with Jeffrey Simmons in that front 4 to be able to help that young secondary out so that Devontae Adams doesn't make those big plays.
Outstanding. See, I told you all, Terry McCormick, he'll make your football IQ up 100 points every time you talk to him. I promise you that. Hey, Terry, how can people follow you on your social media platforms during the football season?
Okay, on Twitter, that's TerryMC13. So follow me there.
I think you changed it to 99, shouldn't you?
What's that?
Change that 13 to 99, right?
I should, for Aaron Judge.
I think you should. Terry MC 99. I think you should. If they win the World Series, you should change to 99. You should.
I should. By the way, my son has already said that the Yankees make the World Series. He says, we are going. I'm like, what in the world? What if they play the Dodgers? Are we going to go to California or New York?
California is nice.
Take every dime out of his savings account and buy a World Series.
California is nice. So I mean, it's a paradise either way you go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a nice. I've been to LA and I've been to Dodger Stadium. It's a nice place, but the only World Series game I've ever seen involving the Yankees or involving anybody for that matter was the Yankees and Braves. And courtesy of my buddy George Plaster, he was able to get us tickets, and we went down there. And of course, he pulled for the Braves, and I pulled for the Yankees. And thankfully, the Yankees were able to overcome Greg Maddux that night.
Outstanding. Terry McCormick, thanks for joining us this morning here on Main Street Media TV. We appreciate it, brother.
All right, see you, Brian.
Thanks so much. We'll see you Sunday. Terry McCormick, making your football IQ 100 points higher than...
And getting that carpet clean.
And getting the carpet clean at the same time, too. Yeah. Man, my goodness. What a show. Show killer. What's in store for tomorrow on the Main Street Media TV here?
We'll go over some news. Probably just run it back.
Sure. We'll run it back again. And if I'm able to come back here soon, we'll have some more guests, some entertainment.
Right. We'll get that in-studio stuff going.
In-studio stuff going as well, too. Hopefully, like I said, later down the road this year, maybe Masha come here with the championship belt. She can show it off and so forth like that. Maybe Masha and you can have an arm wrestling contest.
I was going to say, as soon as she walks through the door, I got to be her friend. Like, I got to think of something to say that'll win her over because she's scary. She's in a great way. I mean, for her profession, I mean, that's a fantastic way to be, right?
Well, like I said in the very beginning, Tyoshin Kravisaya. There we go. They're beautiful in Russian.
Do you remember how to say that other thing? I can't even.
No, we got to go back and check it out. I gotta learn that one.
I know.
But that was so good, though.
Right. Well, the way she said
really
it, I noticed that also. Like, I think it would be awesome to know another language fluently, especially Spanish, just because it's so prevalent here in America. But I mean, it's all about the way you say it. It's not about what you say, which is just something I'm lost on.
I noticed we had Jody Jones during our commercial breaks, and he's showing off the jerseys in his studio. He needs to get one for CJ28, Chris Johnson, because he could use some dental work.
Yes, absolutely. No, that's true. Yeah. So I actually was one that was filming that, and his office is so nice there. So nice.
Yeah,
It's all white, like.
Pecorine had some work there,
Right.
and he had another Predator there too as well.
Exactly.
Stuff like that too as well. We mentioned Aaron Judge hit his 60th home run last night too as well.
Saw that.
Former Predator PK Subban has officially retired, so he's not playing NHL anymore.
Right.
He may have a good TV career coming up. He might.
Yeah, you're right. He's a great personality. They were all on Twitter last night. People were like shouting him out, and I saw a video of him. I didn't know this at the time, but he scored his first goal in his first game with the Preds. That's cool.
Before we get out of here, we got to ask you a college game day question because game day is going to be in Knoxville.
Yes.
The Gators and the Volunteers. Who do you want to see the guest picker on the show that day? Kenny Chesney or Dolly Parton?
I gotta go DP. I mean, she's a legend. Like, especially with Tennessee, and that place is already going to be bonkers. I think if Dolly Parton's out there in any capacity, it just adds to it.
And you put her in between Lee Corso and Pat McAfee?
Ooh, man, that's electric.
Man.
That's electric.
Let's go. And you know what? She could probably, in her pick, start the song of Rocky Top. She could start it off, and the whole crowd would just go nuts.
I mean, they would. Oh, goodness, see, look at me. I'm throwing things on the ground. I'm getting so hyped just thinking about it. No, that would be almost too much, probably.
And I believe that's a CBS game. Is it not at 2:30, I believe, on that Saturday?
Yep.
So we get nephew Brad and, Uncle Gary.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I can't wait to eat some gator meat.
And I wish for just for one game. Maybe the SEC championship game. Maybe
right.
Bring back Granddad Vern. Bring him back.
Yeah. Come on back.
Yep. Bring back Granddad Vern. But like I said, nephew Brad and Uncle Gary. That's fine. They're both good.
Yeah, for sure. Either way.
It's a quick hour show, killer. It's a quick hour.
Absolutely. It really does. It flies by, man.
It does. So let's thank our guests today here on the show, Masha Slimovich from Impact Wrestling. Also, let's thank to Ross Foreman as well, too, and the Anthem Company for allowing Masha time to join us here on the madness here on Main Street Media TV. And hopefully, with a working relationship with them, we can bring on more wrestlers on from Impact as well, too, and maybe from AEW, too, as well, and others as well, too. Plus, Terry McCormick as well, again, making our football IQs go up 100 points every time he comes on. So, all right. It's been fun. It's been real. Hope to be back here soon.
Yes. Hopefully, man. Yeah, great show. No, it was great.
More guests, more entertainment, more fun, and getting your mornings off to a glorious start, I guess we could say.
Marvelous, glorious, any kind of synonym like that.
All right. So we're going to eat some steaks, and we're going to head on out to, what's the name of that place?
Roy Meat Service.
Roy Meat Service. We need Roy. Roy needs to come here and serve some food. Roy! One day on the show. Roy!
Where are you? Get in here.
Get here, Roy! Get in here. We can eat during the show and
absolutely
teach how to cook stuff.
Right.
All right. For Chris the Show Killer, I'm Brian Davis. Have a great Wednesday morning, and we'll hope to see you back here soon here in the madness on Mornings on Main Street on Main Street Media TV.
See y'all.